scorching deserts, forlorn ruins, and a search for companionship. This is an S&P review of Journey. The fourth game by That Game Company, Journey lends a great deal to the argument of whether games can be considered art. Like most of their games, it doesn't follow norms of big-name publishers, but unlike their previous titles, it does follow a more traditional approach. Instead of a flower petal or a microorganism, you control a lone wanderer that is driven to venture to the top of a mountain on the horizon.
That Game Company has always strived to make a game that made you feel, and in this game I believe they have accomplished it better than their other previous titles. By not showing any defining features of the main character, it's easier for the gamer to place themselves in the character's shoes to allow more emotional investment. And conveying emotions is something that they almost got down to a science. Desolate ruins feel lonely, alien atmospheres are foreboding, and anything you come across seems hostile. The music, composed by Austin Wintory, also lends to this concept. Just take a listen. The game is also rather pleasing to the eye as well. The terrain graphics are some of the most realistic ones I've seen. The sand looks as though you could pluck it right out of the screen, and the sun glares might even make your eyes squint. And of course the art style is fantastic. While minimalist in some respects, it also adheres to the art style of ancient and indigenous cultures with a tasteful hint of cel shading that gives a texture as though it were painted. It's also very vague and allows your imagination to fill in the gaps. Something that can be respected, if not risky. There is no multiplayer per se. Instead of a lobby, you just simply come across other lone travelers, and you have the choice to either help them or leave them be. Should you find someone else, there will be no name hovering over their heads, or anything else that would identify them other than a symbol on their character. The encounters are completely anonymous and faceless. All you know is, that is another human being. Communication between two players only consists of chirping sounds that the developers describe as song, and with players singing at one another, the game does become substantially easier. So, while it does reinforce teamwork, it is still entirely the player's decision to oblige. This contributes more to the feeling of isolation and discovery, and while it may be more difficult for friends to set up a game, it lends a lot to the concept behind it. The controls are pretty simple too, using only the analog sticks and 2 buttons, so practically anyone can pick up the game and play. One button allows the character to fly for a short period of time under certain conditions, and the other emits a song that can be used to